Good evening, everybody. How are you doing this evening on this beautiful, beautiful day in Buffalo? The sun's shining. I want to welcome you to Spiritual Discoveries with Angie and Friends. And today, my friend is somebody that I know you're all gonna find very familiar. It's Karen Sully.
Hi guys, how are you? I'm in front of the camera today versus behind. I know when COVID started, Angie and I were quite the rave. I had the headphones on and the,
Yeah,
the little speaker
yeah.
and microphone, and we rocked it during the
Sure
COVID
did. We sure did. Yeah,
time.
I think so. And thanks to you, Karen, and that's actually kind of the reason why we came on today, because we want to talk about a few different things, but one of the things, like so many people ask me and ask Karen all the time, like how do you start an online or how do you start a business, right, Karen? Or how do you properly market a business nowadays? Because it's completely different, wouldn't you say, than it was years ago?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we should probably talk about what I do for you, and so people have a background of why I get to talk about this topic with some
Okay.
knowledge.
Yes. Okay. That sounds good.
So, for those of you who don't know, I have been running my own marketing and technology company, primarily with web design, and I help small and medium sized businesses, solopreneurs, expand their visibility online. And I do that with classes and one on one mentoring sessions. And I also do that done for you services, which means I just handle everything.
Yes.
So, I have started primarily with web design, but I was such a nerd as a kid, and I was the kid who would help the teachers with their film strips in like grammar school, and then I was in the AV club, and I did the sound and the lighting for school plays, and
Ah,
all the way through, I was at the TV station in a very technical capacity in college. So I've always had this like tech brain. And if you saw my astrology chart, you'd know I have Mercury in the third house, which is Aquarius. So it's all about technology. And I
ah.
just really am I just I'm an early adopter. If something's out there, I need to know about it, and I stay appraised. And I just love to share the technology and kind of help people with their overwhelm and where to start. And oh my God, I don't know what to do, because chances are I've encountered it, or I have a solution off the top of my head that can help you. So that's kDynamics, and that's I think I celebrated 20 years technically as
Oh.
a business last year, but I've been helping people with their computers since high school. So
Yeah.
uh,
When Karen says that, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? Like that sounds a lot like me, right, Karen?
well, in the beginning, I think you give yourself a lot of credit, but you do kind of on air. You're like, oh, you do panic. So I think you know more than you think you know, but we make a good team, I
Well, we
think.
make a good team, but I've learned a lot of it. That's the thing, is that when I met Karen, probably I think 3, 4 years ago, when I was in the original Santosha building, I had no idea, how to market myself and what to do and how to put myself out there. And since working with Karen, there's so many do's and don'ts, and so many things to learn. And a lot of them are simple, right, Karen?
Oh
There's
yeah,
simple,
they're just
easy
things you
things.
just don't think of because you're not coming from that side of your brain. So a lot of times, just by I have an upcoming class we'll get to, but just by talking with me or having someone ask you questions, it kind of helps you define your own business. So just merely being asked a question can give you more ideas than you might be stuck or overwhelmed. And then when you break it down, it's really not that challenging. I would always say go with what you love to do.
Yeah.
So if you're more of a talker, talk, do videos. If you're more of a writer, do blogging. And there's different mediums for your audience. So
Yeah.
uh,
And so many ways to get it out there. Well, let's tell everybody about the class. So Karen actually, I have a mediumship certification program, and Karen teaches in that program to help everybody know, once, they're certified and they want to do readings, they want to know, how do I get myself out there? How do I get people to know about me? So Karen did kind of a mini class, I'd say, right, Karen, that you just kind of gave people some of the basics. And then from that, this other course was born, that I'm super excited that Karen is teaching it, because I've learned so much from her and from her classes myself, and I feel you will too. So she's teaching actually this Saturday from 9:30 to 11:30, and it's on Zoom, which I think is really nice because you can take it from the comfort of your living room, right?
Yeah. And if you miss it, I am going to do a replay, so you can get the recording. And there's some other bonuses I do with people who are in attendance. So, that's always fun. But yeah, this Saturday.
Yeah. And it's called drum roll, consciously creating your online presence. So learn specific marketing tips and how-to steps for creating impactful social media. So important nowadays. Website content, I can't talk, that will expand your visibility online. And there's so many things, right, Karen, like little things that can make sure that people see your information, see your stuff, and right. I mean, tell us more about it, and maybe give us a tip.
Sure. Well, let me get the graphics up. This is weird because I'm talking and doing graphics at the same time.
I know Karen's usually behind the scenes, that making our lives look good.
Yeah,
you did it, Karen. You did it. Yeah.
Yay. So just any tip, or what I find, what do you want? A golden nugget, or where to begin?
A golden nugget. Yes.
A golden nugget. Well, I would say if you are posting any content anywhere, this goes for LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, maybe not your web content. Well, it could be. Emojis are where it's at. I just read another article today that they said typical Instagram captions, if you can have up to 20 emojis, and they say to avoid the smiley emojis in your posts, but the other emojis, with arrows and different things, help the interaction and the appeal to your texts. Or not your text, your posts. So I have a customer, Linda Elson of Feng Shui Your World, and she will tell you once she started putting in emojis and following some of the suggestions of, what to post, make sure you have your call to action and you cover different things in your post, which we'll go over in the class.
Yeah.
And it's a side note here.
Wait, what do you mean by call to action? Are you talking about now? I know you don't want to give it away because they're going to learn it in the class in detail, but
I need to learn. I'll give away whatever.
Okay. So is that call to action? Is that because the way you put a post up is important, isn't it?
Yeah, you want to have some fundamental things. And typically what people do the most that I see, or, I don't want to dare call it a mistake, but what's always missing is what to do next. You tell them about an event, but you don't have the ask in there to say, register for the event with the link, or view my page, or make a comment. Actually, stay away from asking to make comments. You get demoted for that. But there's usually something more you can say or do to encourage the action. And I read a lot of things where people are talking about their event, but they don't put the link in. So the call to action is just asking them to take action. And, social media and everything out there that we do is, we're not just doing it willy-nilly and throwing stuff out there, which people do. Yeah. But if you're in business, you want a conversion off of something that you post, so we're talking saying stuff that's actually going to produce a sale. Like in this video right now, we're hoping that you go to Santosha Holistic Center.com, or we're in Facebook all over. And as soon as I'm done talking, I'll post the link there in the comments. But you want to instill action and have a conversion where they've actually engage with your product or your service, or talk to you, or, so it's kind of, there's a consciousness about it. I use that word because we're in the holistic niche. And I think if you're conscious about what you're doing and placing things out there, you're going to get better results. And kDynamics stands for expanding your visibility online with interactive media. So I tend to think things with emojis, like my tip here, are more engaging and more visually stimulating. And we're so, globs of text and big paragraphs. My brain won't read those bulleted lists. I'm all about that ADHD, brain. I can just get right through a list. So let's,
I know,
notice.
you know what, I noticed the same thing, and I didn't know that about emojis, but you're right, because when I see emojis, my eye is drawn to them. And if I see something that's too long and somebody's trying to advertise a class or something, I'll say, I don't have time to read that right now. I want to read it. I'll go back to it. But then by the time I think to go back to it, I can't find it. Like it's important to catch somebody's eye right away, wouldn't you say?
Oh, definitely. And you want to, they say scroll stopping posts. I mean, you want to use imagery and animations or, memes and different things where they have like text that makes you want to scroll and stop in your scroll. And I don't know if you know this, but in Instagram, they actually measure how fast you scroll and when you pause, how long you look at something. And that's how you get your statistics. So it's all about if you're passing over people, when you're reading the stories, how you click, how fast you click through who you don't like in their stories, all of that's measured. And then LinkedIn just came out, I think it was this week, that one of their measurements is called, I think it's the click pause. I might have the name wrong, but it's actually how long you pause on content. So they have a little algorithm in the back saying, oh, well, Karen looked at this for like 10 minutes or 5 minutes, or even if I got up and left the page up, that's what's ranking and, putting content in front of people and LinkedIn. And I got to tell you, you want to hook up with someone like me who knows tech and knows the recent tech and knows what's going on, because there's so much misinformation out there in this niche. Not even niche, I mean like social media marketing, that some of these studies and some of these things are old hat and they don't work anymore. The algorithms are always changing. And again, that's the computer formulas that are behind the scenes, measuring what you're doing and what you're looking at and serving up content, because they're constantly changing. So, like I said, asking for comments right now, when you ask somebody, hey, make a comment below, you actually get demoted, because Facebook is a social platform. They want you to engage socially and not have to ask. I mean, they want you engaging without the prompting.
So you want to write something that somebody just makes a comment, because of
and asking a question is better than saying, please post or comment below. But in Instagram, the rules are a little different. You're having a conversation and you say, comment, have you had this experience? Say that instead of please comment below, frame it like a, social question. You want to talk to the people.
Yeah, definitely. And Karen, too, I was just going to throw this in before I forgot, with something you said, is that they change this stuff all the time, too, like Facebook, Instagram. I mean, there are times that I've called Karen at midnight and said, I cannot post something, what's going on? And she knows how to do it. She's up with the changes and knows how to show you how to pay attention to that stuff, so you know it, too. So, it's important. This is an important class. Very important class.
Yeah, and I touch on all sorts of things, Ange. I'm gonna just put the
I was just gonna start asking. I have the event right here. But yeah, can you go over like the main points? Okay, you put that's
I did put a text with that. I just threw that in there. I hope the image shows up with it.
Okay, that's where they sign up. So everybody in the comments, that's where you sign up, or you can go to www.santoshaholisticcenter.com. The class again is consciously creating your online presence. It's this Saturday, June 18th, from 9:30 to 11:30 on Zoom.
And Angie, if they use the code Angie, all capitalized, ANGIE, right? You'll get a little bonus, a little something off. If you're a student of Santosha, you go to any Santosha classes, or maybe you've been through the mediumship programs, we're offering a better discount, and that is with the code STUDENT. So if you are a student and we recognize your name, that is bonus for you. That's even more money off. It's a very reasonably cost class at $47. And like I said, I usually do something with a promotion. Or one thing that's unique about this year when I'm running this, and I've been running this, gosh, at least 10 years. I just talked to a friend of mine and I was in a networking group. His son is 8 years old, so we know it was at least 8 years ago that I was going to this group, and I remember presenting at that time too. And I'm going to include more worksheets. That's kind of the trend these days, is you don't attend a class without getting a checklist or a worksheet or something that goes with it. And we're going to migrate you into doing the same thing with yours.
Yeah.
I think people like to take notes. You will get the notes, and, I give my stuff away. And, it's part of who I am, and it's aligned with my business is to expand visibility. So the more stuff out there with my name on it, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
so I'll have some note sheets and stuff that go with this year, some checklists.
That's exciting. I like that too. And you're right, because you got me to start doing that and having handouts at my classes, and people do love them. And actually, Karen makes those too. So yeah, you do. You get a lot of credit. You get because Karen behind the scenes is doing so much for Santosha in my classes and everything we do. I mean, I can't recommend Karen and her services enough.
Yeah.
So Karen, do you want to go over so topics to be covered? So if you come to the workshop on Saturday, okay, here are some of the things that Karen's going to go over that you're going to learn so much about.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things is I will help you identify your audience and who you're actually talking to, because again, you want to be conscious of who you're talking to, not just throw stuff out there. I'm going to get into something called the 4 pillars. And those are your branding pillars, and that's what you stand for. So everything that you post or talk about, I mean, this even goes for when you're speaking and doing elevator pitches or talking to other people. If you know what your 4 pillars are of business, and those are things that identify, they're usually like words and traits. Like mine are, I'm always friendly, tech driven, marketing, and I want to be fun. So, fun, friendly, content driven, helping people, expanding visibility. Those are kind of some of my pillars. And I try to be that way in every post or things that I make. So we'll be covering that. And then we'll talk about optimizing your profiles. I will get into specifics with Facebook and Instagram. Some of the strategies do apply for LinkedIn. LinkedIn uses their little names a little differently, but I did include them on the worksheet of checklists. So there's a way to do your profile. So you're covered with the keywords and the hashtags. I'll go into the difference of how the search engines and the algorithms are using hashtags versus search engine optimization, which is putting keywords that are, more people are using the Facebook and Instagram more like a search engine. So they're typing in what they need, and you want to have those words. And also when we talk about that, I'll get into fundamentals of website and the order of, if you're starting a website, where to start and kind of where to build on. Because I know you get overwhelmed with, oh my God, you can have 100 things on there. What do you put on there? Or you're struggling, you're like, I don't know what to put on at all.
Well, and that's where you're good, because I know that's how I am for sure. And you're good at breaking it down and knowing exactly how it needs to be. Believe me, everybody, working with Karen, the headache that I know that I get when I start doing this stuff goes away right away. So.
Yeah. So hopefully the idea is with the class, this will, if you aren't even ready for a business, or if you're in the beginning stages, just asking yourself these questions will kind of put you in a place to start thinking of yourself differently. And tools for attracting clientele. One thing that's specific about, because this is sponsored by Santosha, I am going to reference a lot of things that holistic wellness and spiritual people can be doing. We do have a lot of psychic and medium people attending, because this is the second class that builds off of your certification program. So certainly I want to cover that. But in the query, when you sign up for the class, I do ask you what industry you're in. So I'll touch on something for everyone who's there. And but it will be very you'll get all sorts of examples, because I can just throw this stuff out.
And also, let me just throw this in. And you're right. Because it's through Santosha, there's holistic people, but anybody would benefit from this.
Right. Yeah.
Anybody that has a business, or you want to know how to do social media, even if you just want to know how to do social media and you don't have a business, you want to know how to do it the right way, you'll benefit.
For sure. So I'll touch on a lot of that stuff. And then, hopefully this is going to build onto a series where I will do one of these a month. We've talked about in the past. So we have to, lay some some groundwork for that, but that you can continue to learn. And I will mention resources and tell you, if you're going to make a business card, I think that's in there,
Yes,
with
that's in
service
there, yes.
providers I use, and, some real, and of course I take questions. So I do try to keep it pretty, I don't want to say this year. What I've done in the past is I blow people's head off with too much information.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to put more
Yeah,
of the stuff
yeah,
on the checklists. So it's going to be, I'll cover it, but the steps you do are going to be on the paper. So we don't have to walk all the way through what I've done in other years. So
excellent. Excellent. I love it. Everybody, I mean, definitely register. The link is, can you throw the link on here too so
sure.
they can see it? Okay.
Yeah.
The link's in comments. So again, consciously creating your online presence. Can't recommend it enough with Karen Sully, Saturday, June 18th from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. So that's this Saturday, in the morning. So, and I like that it starts at 9:30 to 11:30 because you still have plenty of time to get out there and enjoy the sunshine and start your day. So it's perfect time. And it's on Zoom too. I've gotten used to Zoom, and it's nice to sit at home and watch a class and take notes and take a look at the handouts that Karen's going to give you and learn so much and get a direction. So important. So do you want to put it up one more time, Karen? Consciously
The graphic. Okay.
presence.
Sure thing. Let's get the website off there. So, like I said, it's good for all businesses are welcome. It's a 2-hour class, and I think we've covered the gist of it. And I've been doing this stuff for over 20 years. I've had kDynamics for, like I said, I just celebrated my 20th anniversary. So I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And kind of know.
She knows what she's. Yeah, you definitely know what you're talking about. Yes, for sure. Yes. I didn't even realize that 20 years. That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And I incorporated, I think, about 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm an S Corp, which I'm woman business certified. I did go through New York State's very aggressive and overwhelming process to get that certification. So when I was helping the Buffalo Public Schools, that was a real feather in my cap, doing that,
Hey, Karen, we have a little question here. Hi, positively, Sharon. What's your opinion on using QR codes?
Gosh, sometimes I think they're helpful, and then other times they're not so convenient. And I think a lot of people have their phones, and they're a great way to get to the content. I think if they're on, your ketchup bottle or other things that are easy to grab and you want to know more, that's better than on a piece of paper or on the computer. I think you see them more if you were in like event posters have them on there where you can just go up with your phone and and what they're talking about, a QR code, you've all seen them. They're just those little digitized squares of designs, but it's like a UPC code similar to that. And when you use your phone with the scanner, it takes you right to the web page. So it is a good way to get there, very direct. And again, I think it depends on what you put them on,
Yeah.
And it's obviously for somebody who has a phone, because that's what you're scanning them with. So.
Awesome. So take a look at that class. Go on. Karen posted the links in the comments, so you can easily go on, read more about the course, and sign up. It's this Saturday again. And Sharon said, thank you, Karen. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and we're going to, Karen and I are also actually doing a class together, which we don't do that very often. And we're excited to do that. And we're especially excited. We're holding a summer solstice event live at Santosha. So many of you, like I moved Santosha during the pandemic. Some of you have been there, some haven't. But we're gonna summer solstice. It's next Wednesday, actually a week from today, Wednesday, June 22nd, 6:30 to 8. As long as the weather holds, we're gonna have it outside. And Karen and I, and we've been trained to do this. We're going to play the sound bowls, right, Karen?
Yes, that'll be so exciting. Post well, outside is a whole different
Outside.
experience. So, and I got to say, as much as I love when we do hybrid and we are always doing
Yes.
we're always doing things hybrid, or attempting to, and we have very good equipment and we've modified over the years. I'm looking forward to the fact it's only in person and we can focus on the single audience that's there and not lugging all of our microphones and everything out there. I mean, it's enough to get the bowls out there. So
For sure. And yeah, that's for sure. And we have a nice grassy area with trees, so it'll be nice. And if it rains or something, well, Karen is bringing a tent, right,
I
Karen?
know, I'm so excited. I have one of those pop-up tents. I never get to use it, and it's purple because it's my business color. And I had all these ambitions when I was doing green screen photography, and I've never used it for anything other than something social in the backyard. So I don't know. We'll see. I
We'll have
really
fun.
like to bring it, Ange. So
Yeah, I want you to. I want you to.
yeah.
We're gonna have fun. So sound bowl healing, a meditation. So it'll be a guided meditation. Susie Rosinski, a good friend of ours, is gonna be there, Western New York, Qigong. And she is going to do a blessing and probably show you a Qigong energy exercise. We're also going to have a message circle at the end. So if you want to come and give messages, you can. If you want to just receive messages, you can. But we're going to do that too. And welcome back to Light. So it's going to be an awesome event. I'm
Yes,
really
and we can kick you off into your season with Lilydale, and
Oh yes,
that's
yes.
exciting. Are you going to do we didn't really go through the you're going to do opening day or you're
Oh yeah, I'll be in Lilydale. Lilydale, oh yeah, which we should have talked about that right away. So Lilydale season is coming up. I hope to see so many of you there. It's June 24th, so next week, and then it goes until Labor Day. So many classes this year. You can look on Lilydale's. Karen, I think it's, oh, there you go, posted in.
Yeah, I thought I had a graphic ready. I don't.
Yeah, but so many things. I have a house down there. You can come see me and sit on the porch or come get a reading. I'll be excited for that, but I can't wait to go to Lilydale. I'm hosting the Stump service in the Forest Temple. I'm chairing those a couple of times, and I'll post the dates so you know. I'd love to have you come down just to support us or give messages or get messages or whatever. But you can't go wrong with the day in Lilydale. It's so peaceful. I've done it for years and years and years, that if I need to get centered or I am trying to figure something out in my life, I've gone to Lilydale by myself. Have you done that, Karen, too?
Gone to Lilydale?
By yourself.
It's
I've
a
gone
lot
by
myself. Oh yeah.
myself.
When I first started going, I went to college in Fredonia. So Fredonia that's when I started going to Lilydale. That's like 15 minutes from there. And if you're coming via the thruway, you have to go through Fredonia to get there. And I used to go by myself and walk around. And I actually was friends with worked at Tops in Dunkirk and knew some mediums back in
Oh,
the day.
wow.
So
Yeah, I remember you said that.
yeah,
Yeah. And you still
yeah.
do. You still do.
And yeah, look at now. I brush shoulders. I love when we're there and we hang out and you can hear people whispering. That's a medium. That's a medium.
Oh,
And now I'm like, I'm standing with a medium. I used to be the one whispering. That one over there is a medium.
me too. Same thing.
So I'm excited that
Yeah.
we're friends, and I really hope this golf cart thing that you maybe can manifest.
I'm going
Would
to try
it
to
be
manage
nice to have
golf
a
cart.
golf
Yeah,
cart?
we can great. Yeah, and you know what Karen and I are going to do? So watch for this too. It'll be coming soon on Facebook Live. Is we're going to do a tour of Lilydale. So, and we did that once before in a golf cart and drove around and and did Facebook Live right from it. It was fun. And that, what I love about that is if you can't make it down or you live a distance away, we do that Facebook Live and you get to see what we're talking about. And I think you can feel it too, right on there. So definitely do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So thank you, Karen, for coming on.
Yeah, this has been different for me to be kind of interviewed, and
Oh, I know.
yeah,
So remember that, everybody, consciously creating your online presence, Saturday, June 18th, 9:30 to 11:30 on Zoom. And then we have Summer Solstice, welcoming back the light. And that's June 22nd, 6:30 at Santosha, which Santosha, by the way, is at 2801 Worley, Suite 10. We're going to have that event outside. If it rains or, whatever, depending on whether we'll go inside, but I'm hoping we can be outside and play the sound bowls. And Lilydale's opening day coming up next week, June 24th. So I hope to see you there. Thank you. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah, no problem.
And Karen posted all the links in the comments too.
Yes, and I'll go through there and tidy everything up.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us and taking a few moments out of your day to listen to us. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks.